So part two, what I saw was this video. I think these guys are Fresh and Fit, right? So Fresh and Fit, they have this podcast. Very funny guys. I enjoy their content, and they bring these women on, right? And it's so funny because they'll base their opinions, the men will base their opinions and try to argue with these women that have OnlyFans accounts. Dude, that to me is so silly. Like, she fits everything that you say isn't good. It's like, hey, serial killers are bad. Let's group them all together and let's interview a serial killer. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty weak. Again, these arguments are pretty weak. Now, let's say that you have somebody, let's take a school teacher that has her own opinions, right? And is not showing her cleavage and isn't selling her body for money, right? Bring somebody like that on. And not only that, but try to understand their point of view. What I notice in a lot of interviews is that these guys try to push their opinion on people. And let's say factually it's right. Let's say when they say 7 out of 10 divorces are initiated by women, right? I've heard that multiple times, whatever it is. Cool, dude. If you want to just say a fact and then say, ha, gotcha, is weak again. I remember they had some dude on there, some cat that, whatever, he talks about women and he talks about marriage and blah, blah, blah. And first of all, these guys talk about marriage that aren't married. It's, hey, dude, my advice, hey, I've never golfed in my life. I have never golfed in my life, but let me go on a podcast and talk about the statistics of golf, and you're gonna believe me because I read off statistics, right? So, and I don't know if these guys are educated, right? I have a degree in psychology. I'm getting another degree. And that's besides the point. But the fact is, when you just start looking categorically at, hey, 7 out of 10 marriages are, divorces are initiated by women, and that's all you have, right? So it's pick and choose the fact. Now, are you taking into account age? Are you taking into account, was there domestic violence? Are you taking into account, did he do something wrong? Did they take into account her happiness level? Did they take into account how long they had been together? Did they take into account race, ethnicity? Did they take into account how much money they're making? That is important. That's important. So when you start to, again, it's just so weak. It's a weak blanketed argument that, hey, all women are like this because 7 out of 10 initiate the divorce. Well, dude, who are these 7 out of 10? Are just across all? What if there's a big sector that say, hey, most of these women that are actually doing this are in their 20s or early 30s, and they were pregnant, right? They got pregnant early, and they weren't happy. They didn't love this guy. They didn't get married. They didn't do all these things. It just doesn't make sense when I see this. So my take on it was, yes, these guys had some valid points, right? One of them, and I believe this. I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. And don't get me wrong, I truly believe that you can learn something from everyone. I truly, to my heart, I believe that. These guys said that, if you're a woman that makes $100,000 a year and this guy makes $40,000 a year, would you want him to be on your level eventually, right? So you don't want this guy just to, not be happy. Howdy, neighbor. You don't want him just to be happy with 40K. You want him always to be succeeding, right? That makes sense. Okay, I can see that. Then, they ask the guys, hey, do you care if she makes however much money? No, I don't care. Right? Doesn't matter. That's good, right? I thought about that. It was interesting. They do have that. The money value, I understood. It was a concept that I had fiddled with in my brain, but for them to say it, it made sense. Now, my question would be, how much money do you make as a man to be happy with whatever she makes? So if you make minimum wage, are you going to be okay with her not working? Are you going to pay for the meals? Are you going to pay for the house or the apartment? Yeah, you start to care. You start to care. So is it 40,000 where he doesn't care and you could work a minimum wage job? Is that what they're saying? You know what the point that I'm making is that they are blanketing a dogma and a stigma of, hey, I don't care if girls work, or I don't care how much money they make. Well, that doesn't help when you're a team, right? So yes, if I have $500,000, if I have $100,000, whatever it is, whatever you want to say, yeah, dude, that doesn't matter because I'm fine, right? Because I don't need you. The difference is when you are young and when you are both together and you both have to struggle together, and that's when you are successful. That's when you start to become successful in a relationship. If you both struggle, you love each other, and you're both like, hey, I need to work, you need to work. Okay, babe, let's save this. And you're figuring life out. That's how to be successful in a relationship. So really what this is the weak argument of blanketing other arguments as a whole into one category where people aren't that simple, relationships aren't that simple, life isn't that simple. I don't know. I mean, that's just thought in my brain. Holla at your boy. Hope to, maybe talk to those fresh and fit guys. They seem cool. Definitely have some, maybe different interviewees on there. I'll just recap this video. Yeah, maybe why don't you have a mom on there? Why don't you have a woman that has kids, that is in a faithful marriage? They're bringing in these young teens and saying that, and that's fine. That gets your views, right? But it's weak. It's weak, man. Come on. You know it is. Why don't you be a man? Why don't you say, hey, maybe I should interview somebody that knows something instead of interviewing these young girls that don't know anything. That's my opinion. Holla at your boy. Peace.